Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be covering another viewer requested video, drummer kind of guy. We're going to be looking at Gavin Harrison playing a song called Anesthetize with a band called Porcupine Tree, I think. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I've never even heard of these guys before, so I looked them up. Actually, one of you guys commented, gave me two links. One was to the full band version, which I think it was live, and I really wanted to do that one, but then I saw it was like 20 minutes long, and I was like, oh man, like that would be a marathon video. And then I saw this one, which was 7 minutes long, and I was like, that might be a little bit more manageable. So I went with this one just because it was a little bit shorter, and it's just him. It's just him playing. And with these kinds of drummers you guys have suggested to me, I mean, I've got plenty to see just with Gavin here. But who knows? Maybe in the future I'll be able to do all of Porcupine Tree and kind of analyze them like as a whole, musicality, composition, stuff like that. But as of today, we're just going to do Gavin Harrison playing, I'm assuming, a small snippet of the entire song. Before we go on, mandatory disclaimer, I will be pausing the video a few times throughout so I can go ahead and give an analysis, give a little bit of a breakdown, everything that I like so far that I've seen, things that I think he's doing really well. So if that's something that kind of irritates you, I apologize, and I want to let you know that this video probably isn't for you. Anyway, that being said, let's get right into it. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Gavin Harrison. I'm a little excited, so let's do this. I feel like he was doing a little... Ooh. Nice little roll. That was a clean little fill. It's a little 9-stroke roll. Ooh, clean feet. Yeah, 9. Oh, nice little accents in the splash. Good China work. I love the orchestration of his drums, like what he's choosing. And they sound great. Hey, nice. Clean hands on those single stroke rolls. Yeah, those. Man, those bass hits are so clean. Double strokes. I love that top rack. The sound. Nice. A little bit heavy. Little odd time signature here. Nice. Ooh. I wish I had caught that fill a little bit better. Nice. Okay, got a little break here, so let's do a little bit of talking. So the first thing that pops out at me right off the bat that I think is just really good is like his rolls. He's got really clean hands in terms of both kinds of rolls, like double stroke rolls and single stroke rolls. They're both very clean. At the very beginning he was playing like some 9-stroke rolls, and I think there was a 7-stroke roll in there somewhere, maybe even a 5. I'm not entirely sure. It felt like a 7, but all those rolls, they're just so clean. You can't hear the distinction between, first of all, between hands, because that's a huge thing that you want to accomplish when you're playing double stroke rolls, single stroke rolls, any kind of rolls. You don't want to hear a distinction from hand to hand. It's really easy to, when you're playing double stroke rolls, to hear heavy right hand, and that so many drum set players do that. Even some of the better drum set players, professional drum set players, you can hear that. And Gavin here is playing really clean double stroke rolls where you can't even tell what the heck is going on. Not to mention those single stroke rolls, it's what I find most impressive about his single stroke rolls is the evenness, but of the spacing of his notes, because since you're going back and forth, alternating from hand to hand, it's easy to kind of like be too close. You know, that's an exaggerated example, but to being able to space out the notes as correctly as you can is, I think, a really impressive trait. Not to mention the degree of difference between those low rolls, which are almost like ghost-like in nature, to the kind of like the backbeat pocket that he's got going on the accent on the snare. Really good stuff. And then he's even got a different touch to the tom work that he does for his fills, and it's not the same kind of touch from his low snare stuff to his big punchy snare stuff. That's not the same approach he has to the tom. Just the dynamic range that he's expressing, which is a really hard thing for, you know, beginner and even intermediate drummers to kind of figure out. Nice spacing of notes on there. Yeah, that driving hat. So consistent. And here he's just providing pocket groove. Not overplaying. Vocals come in, he stops the hi-hat. He's out of the way of the vocals. Such a mature thing to do, in my opinion. And he's using smaller instrumentation, like the little splashes. That fill was out of the way as well. I'm digging this guy. Again with the single stroke rolls. Learn your rudiments, kids. Look like a paradiddle diddle. I love this. Everything has come up musically, and he's joined them. Yeah. More crashes. Back to the odd time. That looks like he was asking for more volume. Nice. It sounds like kind of a dry snare. I dig it. Again with the driving hat. But it's not in the way. It's a good touch. Yes. Nice flams. Rudiments. Yeah, I love that ride pattern. It's a little bit different. Really nice color from cymbal to cymbal. I'm really digging that those hi-hat sections. He's not even lifting it up. That was a huge lift, but he's not overlifting. He got good hands. You don't see this degree of like chops. Okay, so I want to talk about that kind of first section that we came back into, where he was just kind of laying pocket feel. I gotta talk about the one thing that I kept saying as he was going on, which was the driving hi-hat. It seems like an easy thing to do, to kind of get that driving hi-hat, but it really takes a certain degree of attention and efficiency to keep that driving hat going, because there's a few different things that you have to think about as you're doing something like that. You have to think about how much your hats are opening up, because depending on how much you open the hats, you're going to get a different sound, because the hats move in a different way. So you have to your foot has to be doing a certain, it has to be precise. And then another thing is, if you hit the hi-hats in a different way than you did the previous time, then also you're going to get a different sound. If you hit it harder, obviously you're going to get a louder sound. It's going to like jangle just a little bit more. And if you hit it softer, you're also going to get a different sound. You might not get the sizzle you're looking for. And then of course there's the part where that left foot, as you open the hats, has to be very consistent as well. Like it has to be super in time, or else you're not going to get the desired effects. There's a lot of stuff that goes into playing something simple like that little hi-hat groove. But more importantly, I think, is just being disciplined and playing with good technique, playing as consistently as you possibly can, which is something that I think all drummers should really strive to do, because it really elevates you from kind of like beginner status to more intermediate and advanced playing, if you can really define your drumming. Also, he had some fills in there that I thought were just really, really nicely done. It's a small thing, but his tom fills they're not all loud and in your face, which again speaks to a more advanced type of player. The fill has body, it has movement, it goes from big to small, small to big. And I'm not talking about like tone, like the tone of the drums. I'm talking about crescendos and decrescendos. And that just, for me, that just speaks to having a really clean technique, like I was just talking about. Like, it's not too hard, you're not squeezing the stick, you have the right pressure. And then final technical part that I'm going to just talk about before I start the music again is that foot was just nails in time. And again, it just speaks to discipline, which I think a lot of players just kind of gloss over. So be disciplined, learn good technique, learn consistent technique, just be consistent, and then you can start doing the fun stuff. That's a beautiful contrast. Man, just going Hertas with his feet. I don't know how much of that was actual pain, but I feel it. I totally feel it. That left foot is just so, like, it's solid in time. He kind of plays like I do. A lot of heel stuff. Just so many tasty fills. Like, he's utilizing his whole drum set. That was beautiful. So hard to master consistency on that. At least it was for me. Man, I mean, I just think he's doing so many things so well, both technically and musically. He's not afraid to use, like, you would see all those symbols and just think that seems like overkill, but he's using them to create certain effects. And I think that's a great thing about a drum set player, like, you got to know what it is that you're trying to accomplish, what effect you're trying to give, and know where to put it. Like, it's not enough to just go out there and think, oh, this is good to hit, I'm just going to hit this thing and hope it sounds good. No, like, there's certain things that you want to aim for when you're playing. For example, if you're backing up anybody, if it's a longer type note, then you want to hit maybe a cymbal or something like that, something that has a resonance and a decay. If it's like small staccato moments in the music, then you want to use drums and maybe even a snare. Like, I've mentioned that I come from a jazz background, so if, for example, if you have short staccato, I would always associate trumpets with short staccato type passages. Like, there was a lot of times they would play like that, so just like kind of choked off stuff, bop bop bop, stuff like that, jazzy stuff. So that I always like equated that to snare, because my snare is probably the shortest thing that I have. And then obviously, like with trombones, you know, there's a lot of like that's their favorite. That's the favorite thing to do for trombones. So that is obviously something like a crash or something that has decay to kind of back that stuff up. But overall, I mean, a lot of fun to watch this guy. I think he's really a talented musician, a very disciplined and trained musician, which in my opinion are the best kinds. They're my favorite types of players, disciplined ones that really know how to accompany and lift and really make the song better, make the band better. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for stopping by to watch the video. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you really liked it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That really helps me put out more content, continue to do stuff like this if you subscribe. And I mean, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have. If you have any other suggestions, feel free to leave them down in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to get to them. I've gotten a lot of requests. This one was one of them, so I'm trying to get to them as best as I can, and I really appreciate all your suggestions, all your comments. I've had a lot of fun discovering new artists, discovering new drum set players, so thank you. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.